Alright, okay, so before I start this review video, I do want to get this disclaimer out of the way. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Yep, that's right, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you do not want to get spoiled for whatever the heck it is that I'm reviewing in this review video, then I think that it's best that you just click off the review video, not watch it, at least until you have said whatever the heck it is that I'm reviewing in this review video. So, yeah, spoiler alert, disclaimer out of the way. Alright, on to the video. Hi everyone, this is Jaden Pictures here, this is Jaden Talking here. And yeah, I reviewed Toon Story 1 Vanilla Rabbit Lover 2001 production style in my last review video, so why don't I review Toon Story 2 Vanilla Rabbit Lover 2001 production style? I mean, yeah, after all, the guy does want me to review all 4 of his Toon Story films. So yeah, 1 down, 3 to go. Okay, on to Toon Story 2. Okay, so I do want this video to last a good amount of time, but I promise that it won't end up being as nearly as long as the Toon Story 1 review video. The Toon Story 1 review video ended up being almost 45 minutes long. And it makes sense why, because I reviewed 2 different spoof projects in that video. And, there was a ton of casting choices that Vanilla Rabbit Lover wanted me to specifically go over when reviewing his Toon Story 1. Yeah, and I went through a lot of them. Now, granted, I do think that there's probably like a few casting choices that I didn't specifically go over in that review video like he wanted me to, but I don't think he minds it that much. I still went over a lot of the casting choices that he wanted me to go over. Yeah, and, especially the main ones, like, with Discord for My Little Pony as Woody and Garfield, the CGI reboot Garfield as Buzz Lightyear, and all that stuff. And yeah, there was a bunch of casting choices that he wanted me to go over. That's probably like the main reason why the video was so long. Yeah, and there was also that over 3 or 4 minute long skit I did at the beginning with me being sat in the closet and all that stuff. And, with Goku, Vegeta, Sonic, Shadow, and Tails, and yeah, and all that stuff. But I don't think this review video will end up being as nearly as long as the last review video. So, yeah, even though there's still some casting choices I need to go over in this review video, there's definitely not as nearly as much as the last review video. So yeah, with all that being said, let's not drag this out any longer, and let's start the Toon Story review video. Okay, starting off by going over the casting choices, of course, and the casting choice that I'll go over first is the one for the utility belt Buzz Lightyear, not the normal Buzz Lightyear, but the utility belt one. And yeah, okay, so you remember how in the Toon Story 1 review video I said that Vanilla Rabbit Lover had the CGI reboot Garfield as the normal Buzz Lightyear? Well, if you're curious, yes, he does have another Garfield. He does have another Garfield for the utility belt Buzz Lightyear, but it's not like it's a clone of the CGI reboot Garfield. No, it's a different version of Garfield. And yeah, I was expecting it to be a different version of Garfield. And if you want to know what version of Garfield is the utility belt Buzz Lightyear, it is the live-action movie Garfield. And yeah, that does work. I would say it works, but I think it would have been better if you had, like, let's say a different cartoon version of Garfield be the utility belt Buzz. Have a different cartoon version of Garfield be that version of Buzz. Like, let's say the original cartoon version of Garfield. But I still think that having the live action movie Garfield as him works too. Although I haven't seen much of the live-action Garfield movie, but I've heard that it's really, really bad. It's such a bad film. And I've seen people put it on lists that focus on the worst live-action movies based off of cartoons lists, like, yeah, those type of lists. And yeah, Garfield gets put on those lists along with other movies like the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender movie, the live-action Dragon Ball movie called Dragon Ball Evolution, which I guess you could say is a cop-out because, if the whole thing, people saying, oh, Dragon Ball is an anime, not a cartoon. It's not a cartoon, it's anime, all that stuff. And whatever, I don't really care about the whole argument about anime being cartoon or not as much as I used to. I mean, I used to care about the argument more and argue that anime is cartoon, but now I don't care about the arguments nearly as much as I used to. And yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy, isn't it? They're both still, whether anime is cartoon or not, anime and Western cartoons are still 2 different forms of animation. They still qualify as forms of animation and all that stuff. And yeah, I don't care about the argument as much as I used to. I think people can believe whether or not anime is cartoon. It makes sense why they would believe it's cartoon or not. I really don't care about the argument as much as I used to. But yeah, Dragon Ball Evolution gets put on those type of lists too, along with other ones like Flintstones, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Oh my gosh, yeah, but a bunch of others. Yeah, I know people really hate live action adaptation movies, and for me, why I don't think I've seen too many live action adaptation movies of like cartoons and stuff. I would maybe say that live action adaptation movies usually don't end up being that great. Well, aside from the live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movies, those movies are really good. I love those movies, and I might want to rewatch the first live-action Sonic the Hedgehog movie again to see if it's better or worse than the sequel. Yeah, either way, I would say that they're both close to each other. But yeah, pretty much aside from those, I don't think I've seen any live-action adaptation movie that I consider to be really good. And yeah, but I still don't mind the live-action movie Garfield being Buzz Lightyear. I think that casting choice still works. I wouldn't say he did it justice by having the live action movie Garfield be Buzz, but still, I still think that casting choice works. Okay, now moving on. Now, let me go over the casting choice he had for Al. Al of Al's Toyborn, that funny villain. Okay, who did he have be Al? He had. Okay, so for Al, he had some character named Moneybags 2018 be him, and yeah, I'm not too familiar with that. Yeah, that's another casting choice. Yeah, another one of those casting choices that I'm not too familiar with. Although it does seem pretty fitting, but yeah, don't have too much of an opinion on it. Moving on. Okay, now moving on to the casting choice he had for Jesse, another really important casting choice. Okay, now the casting choice he had for Jesse, it's actually a character that I forgot existed. Yeah, I forgot that existed because it's from the CGI Garfield show, and I haven't seen the CGI Garfield show. I haven't seen a full episode of that show in so long. I haven't seen a full episode of it in so long. And it's Garfield's girlfriend. Like, okay, sorry if I mispronounced her name, but her name is Arlene. Yeah, I think I pronounced it right. Arlene. You have Arlene from Garfield, the CGI reboot Garfield show, as Jessie. And yeah, that's a character I forgot existed. And I think but I still think, I'm still familiar with it because, I've seen the CGI reboot Garfield show before. And I remember seeing her in that show when I was watching it when I was little. And I do think that it is a good casting choice. Like, I've seen a lot of these Toy Story 2 projects follow this idea when it comes to deciding who should be Jessie. Like, it seems like they usually go with this idea. Have the spouse of whoever's being Buzz be Jessie, and I really like that idea. And this is one of those spoof projects that follows that idea, and I really like that idea. It's nicely done. Nicely done. That's a really good casting choice. And yeah, moving on. Okay, now moving on to Bullseye, which, okay, in my opinion, it is a worse casting choice, but I don't think it's that bad either. It is like one of, if not the most influential cartoon character of all time, and like Nickelodeon's most popular character. Good old SpongeBob SquarePants himself as Bullseye. What do I think about that? Well, not the best, not a great casting choice, but it's good. It's good. I can see what he was thinking with that because SpongeBob does like crazy and all that stuff, but yeah, not the best casting choice. But it's a good one. It's not a great one, but it's a good one. Yeah, but I don't think it's the best casting choice for Bullseye. Like, I think a better SpongeBob casting choice for Bullseye. Okay, this character might not get enough screen time to be him, but that mystery, that green seahorse character from that one episode. I think that he or she, whether it's male or female, I think that character is definitely a better choice for Bullseye than SpongeBob. Although that character might not get enough screen time. Although I do feel that mystery might not get enough screen time to be Bullseye, but I still think that the mystery fits Bullseye well, and I think that that's a casting choice that I would maybe use for my Toy Story 2 project. It would depend on, it would depend on if, I'm pretty sure it's a female, it would depend on if she gets enough screen time to be him or not. But yeah, I still like SpongeBob as Bullseye, not the best casting choice, but not the worst either. Okay, now moving on, alright, what other casting choices are there to go over? Oh, okay, let me go over Wheezy, okay. Reezy, I call him Reezy. Wheezy, okay, Wheezy. Who was Wheezy? For Wheezy, he had Tiger from Kipper be Wheezy. Again, not too familiar with that casting choice, but it does seem pretty famous, but I don't have too much of an opinion on it. Now, moving on to, now I want to move on to Andy's dog. Buster? Yeah, Buster, that's his name. That's the name. Buster, okay. Who did he have be Buster? He had some character named Charlie Barkin as Buster. Again, not too familiar with it. Not too familiar with it. Don't have too much of an opinion on it, but it does seem pretty fitting. Moving on. Now let's move on to another casting choice I'm actually familiar with, and it's the one for Zurg. Evil Emperor Zurg. Sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance. I love quoting Toy Story, but yeah. Let's move on to the casting choice for Zurg For Zurg, Buzz's enemy. Okay, Zurg. Now this is a casting choice I'm actually familiar with, but it's only because I've seen this character be used. I've seen Vanilla Rabbit Lover have this character be Prince Charming for Dookie 2 and Dookie the Third, and that character is King Sombra. King Sombra. I was gonna call him Prince Sombra, but it's King Sombra. It's King Sombra as Zurg, and I don't like that casting choice, but I'm not safe to raging for My Little Pony for the next Toon Story review, which is Toon Story 3, and which I would want to have be recorded outside. I don't like King Sombra as Zurg, but it does seem pretty fitting, and I will admit that while I don't think he did as good of a job with King Sombra's defeat as he did when doing Dookie the Third, it was still synced up pretty well. But if you want a better defeat if you want to see a better defeat for King Sombra, look at Dookie the Third. All right, moving on. Okay. Oh, Stinky Pete. Yeah, you can't forget Stinky Pete, that nasty villain. Yeah, that nasty villain that ripped Woody's arm again. Okay, Stinky Pete. Okay, Stinky Pete. This is yet another casting choice that I'm familiar with, even though I have not seen the movie he's from in a while. But okay, I'm pretty sure he's the main villain of this movie. It's Nigel from Rio as Stinky Pete. Yeah, it does seem pretty good. It is, yeah, I do like that casting choice. I do think that Nigel makes a good Stinky Pete, even though I haven't seen Rio in a while, but I've seen Rio before, and I do like it. It is a good film. For me, the highlight of that movie will always be, like, I don't remember the names, but for me, the highlight of that movie will always be this duo between that skinny black dude and that fat white dude. Bro, I love the duo between them. It's awesome. It's awesome. Like when they play rock, paper, scissors to decide who feeds the bird or whatever. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes! Let me try it again. Let me quote it again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes! Scissors, cuts, rock. Aw, man, how come you always win? Bro, I love that scene. I love that scene. I get the joke. Come on, scissors can't cut rock. Rock is too powerful for scissors to cut. Yeah, another scene that I found really funny was when they were chasing after Rio and his girlfriend or whatever. This one funny scene, and the fat white dude stops to watch the game, and then the skinny black dude comes back for the fat white dude. He's like, "You come on, bro!" I remember thinking that was hilarious when I first saw that scene. I think I might have only seen that scene once or twice in my life, but I would like to see that scene again. That scene is awesome. And I also remember that one scene with the fat white dude, like with his nipples jiggling and being a chicken and all that stuff. Wait. Oh, wait. This is sounding more like a review on Rio, isn't it? No, this is a review on Toon Story 2, not Rio. But I really do love those two guys. They're awesome. But yeah. As he had that villain from Rio be him, be Stinky Pete. Good. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. Okay, now moving back on to the casting choices I don't like. Okay, remember all those Barbie dolls that some of Andy's toys bump into while they're trying to go find Woody? Yeah, he had Equestria Girls characters be all those. He had My Little Pony Equestria Girls characters be those Barbie dolls, and okay. Okay, that's enough. Okay, that's enough. End of review video. I'm done reviewing these movies. End of video. End of review. I'm done. Psych! No. I'll still review all 4 Toon Story movies like Vanilla Rabbit Lover wants me to. But, okay, any My Little Pony casting choice I don't like. Okay, all of them already checked off. Okay. Alright, moving on now. Alright, moving on. There's still more casting choices to cover. Alright, here's another casting choice I want to cover. Okay, so you remember that one red dude and the blue dude, that one red toy and one blue toy who's Slinky asks where Woody's at? And, they fight over who Slinky was talking to. Yeah, he had 2 of the necklaces. He uses for his spoof films. Be them, and I like that. Nicely done. Okay, that's another good casting choice. Out of the way. Moving on. And, yeah, you know what? I think I've covered a good amount of casting choices in this review video, so let me move on to other stuff about this project. Now, I can't go through this review video without going over the unique ideas that he did in this project. Oh, and unique ideas. That's a pretty important thing to cover. Yeah, he did do some unique ideas in this project, and yeah, he did do some nice and unique project. Yeah, I stutter way too much. Sorry. Maybe I really should start scripting my review videos, but I'm too lazy to do so. But yeah, anyway, as I've been saying, he does have some good and unique ideas in this project, and one of them being this. Okay, so you know how in the Toy Story 2 movie, Woody has his arm ripped and all that stuff. Well, you would maybe think that in this Toon Story 2 project, Vanilla Rabbit Lover would have Discord for My Little Pony have his arm ripped, but no, that's not actually the case. Instead, he had him get his tail ripped instead. And yeah, that works. That's a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. While it's still related to a show I don't like, that idea still works. Having his tail get ripped off, having his tail get ripped instead of his arm. Yeah, that's a good idea. And heck, and guess what? I was even thinking about what he was going to do for that part. Yeah, and I've seen, and there's other people in these Toy Story 2 projects that do something, have another part of the character of the body of the character they have as Woody get ripped and instead of the arm, on your animated 18's cartoon character story 2 project or whatever the heck it's called. Instead of having he had the Sonic X version of Sonic as Woody, he had the Sonic X version of Sonic be Woody, and instead of making Sonic rip his arm, he made him rip his glove. Makes so much more. Makes a little more sense. No. Scratch that. It makes a lot more sense. Yeah, that's an example. And here, instead of Discord ripping his arm, instead of Discord getting his arm ripped, he got his tail ripped. He got his tail ripped, and nicely done. That's a good and unique idea. And there's also some good added lines here too. There's some added lines that he acted out himself. And there's a video game scene. And there's an added video game scene in this project that I was not expecting at all. Okay, so remember when I said that I'm done listening to casting choices? I think I've listed a good amount of casting choices. Well, no, I think there's another casting choice I need to go over. He had Ripto, whatever the heck his name is from Spyro, be himself for this added video game scene he did for part 18. Perfect battle, and he had Ripto die, and it was an added video game scene where he had Spyro go up against him, all that stuff, and that was a really nice, unique idea. Yeah, he recorded himself, but it doesn't look like it was one that he recorded off of YouTube or off of his computer. No, this looks like an added scene. This instead looks like an added scene that he recorded from his own Spyro video game, and he recorded it off of his TV. Because, the audio quality gets different at that scene. That was really nice and well done. And another thing I like about this part, it's one of those parts of his project that don't have My Little Pony in it. And that's, oh my gosh, that's a plus for me. There's... Out of the, how many parts are there? Out of the 21 parts in this Toon Story 2 project, while most of the parts do have My Little Pony in them, there's actually some parts that don't have any My Little Pony in them. In the first part out of the many, too much stuttering. And the first part out of those is part 10, which is the part that covers the scene where the toys are walking in cones and they cross the street and all that stuff. That was nice. That was really nice and well done for me. I really liked, that's the first part of his Toon Story series that don't have any My Little Pony in them. And yeah, that's something for me. There's no parts of his Toon Story 1 that don't show or say anything related to My Little Pony out of all the parts there are of that project. But here, that's not the case for this one. There's actually some parts that don't have any My Little Pony stuff in them at all, and that's something for me. That's a positive for me. It reminds me of how my Vegeta Shrek series doesn't have any parts. It reminds me of how my Vegeta 1 Shrek 1 project doesn't have any parts that don't have Dragon Ball in it. Although there's some parts of Vegeta 2 that don't have Dragon Ball in it, and that's something for my little sister and the Return of the Fasa, since that neither of them like Dragon Ball. And yeah, that's what this reminds me of. And yeah, I did make a playlist. Yeah, and I did make a playlist of all the parts of Vanilla Rabbit Lover's Toon Story series that don't show or say anything related to My Little Pony. And I'll leave links to that description to that playlist in the description below if you want to check it out. Yeah, I also did the same thing with the parts of my Vegeta 2 project that don't say or show anything related to Dragon Ball for my little sister. And I'm sure the Return of the Fossil would appreciate that playlist too. Yeah, it's really nice. That's really nice. So yeah, I would, what else is there to cover in this project? Well, how good is it quality-wise? Well, same as it usually is with with the spoof films of Vanilla Rabbit Lover 2001 Productions, and, same as it usually is, same as it usually is, so yeah, not much to comment on that. And as for, Like syncing wise, of course not the best syncing wise. Even though I did say earlier that I think the syncing for when King Sombra gets defeated was synced up well. I do think the syncing was good there. But yeah, not the best syncing wise, but it's what it usually is with Vanilla Rabbit Lover 2001 Productions as spoof films. And yeah. All right, time to jump into the conclusion. All right, let's go. But whoa, wait. No. I don't want to jump into the conclusion right now. No, there's another unique idea I want to specifically go over. I don't think this is a unique idea that I can just sleep on. Okay, so you remember how in the Toon Story 1 review, I was praising the fact that for the scene where Woody removes Buzz's helmet, he replaced it with the scene of Garfield, getting flopped around and stuff, of him getting hurt because, Garfield doesn't wear a space helmet. Well, for here in the Toon Story 2 project, for the scene where the normal Buzz removes the utility belt Buzz's helmet, he replaced it with a scene from the live-action Garfield movie, not the CGI reboot Garfield show. He replaced it with the scene he replaced that scene with the scene from the live-action Garfield movie, where Garfield falls and gets flopped around and all that stuff, and that was really nice and well done. Because again, I've asked this question on the previous review, and I'll ask it again. Does Garfield wear a space helmet? Does Garfield need to wear a space helmet? What version of Garfield wears a space helmet? What version of Garfield wears a space helmet? Whether it's the normal cartoon version of Garfield, the CGI reboot version of Garfield, the live-action movie version of Garfield, what version of Garfield wears a helmet? What version of Garfield wears a helmet? Does Garfield ever need... Seriously, would Garfield ever need to wear a helmet? I don't think I've ever seen Garfield go up to space. Hold on. Alright, okay. Maybe I should leave that laptop alone. But yeah, I do really like that unique idea he did in replacement for the scene where the normal Buzz removes the helmet of the utility Buzz. And yeah, okay, now I think I want to jump on to the conclusion. How do I feel about this? Okay, what's my overall opinion on this spoof project sequel? Well, similar thoughts to the first Toy Story I have for the first Toon Story 1 project. I don't know if I would consider this my favorite Toon Story movie, but that's because I don't know which Toy Story movie I would consider to be my favorite. I love all of the first three movies so much. I think they're all really close together. Yeah, and the fourth one too. No, I'm just kidding. No, not the fourth one. Like I've said in previous videos, that's not a real Toy Story movie to me. Nope. Franchise ended with the third one. Don't need to say it again. Yeah, but the first three movies to me are so close together that I can't pick a favorite between them. That's why I can't pick my favorite Toon Story movie from Vanilla Rabbit Lover 2001 Productions. But I would probably say that this Toon Story 2 movie is better than Toon Story 1 because, like I said, there's some parts of it that don't show or say anything related to My Little Pony, and that's nice. It makes the My Little Pony stuff easier to avoid. So yeah, that's a positive for me. So yeah, if I were to say Toon Story 2 is better than Toon Story 1, that would be the reason. If it's not that, then I guess I would say that I like the Toy Story 2 movie itself more than the Toy Story 1 movie itself. So there's that. I probably still wouldn't call it good. I probably still wouldn't call it good, but I still wouldn't call it terrible. And I don't know how I'd rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, but I will tell you this, it would definitely be higher. It would definitely be higher than a 3 out of 10, so... Yeah, and I would say it comes close to being good, and there's still a lot of stuff to enjoy from this project, even though it's mainly focused on My Little Pony. Same thing with Toon Story 1. And yeah, that's my overall opinion on it, and that's 2 Toon Story movies down and 2 to go. And that's where I can start raging at the My Little Pony stuff in these movies, and I don't think I want to do those last two review videos in here. I'll do it outside, especially when I do the Toon Story 4 review. Things are going to get crazy at that review video. Oh my god, I'm going to go crazy when I do that review video. Yeah. That's not going to be pretty. That is not going to be pretty. Do not expect me to be too happy in that review. Do not. I'm already finna get pretty angry about it. I'm already finna get pretty angry about the My Little Pony stuff in those last 2 Toon Story review videos. I'm just gonna end the video before I explode in rage. Links will be in the description below. I'm about to explode in rage about My Little Pony, about a bunch of the My Little Pony stuff being in the last 2 Toon Story movies. Okay, I'm about to explode in anger, and I want to end this video real quick before I do so. That's it for this video. That's it for this review video, everyone. Next review video I'll be doing is the Toon Story 3 review. And yeah, that's it for this video, everyone. Bye, everyone, and thank you all for watching this review video.